Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Array Tarot, and we are going to be looking at what's coming up for you this week. Okay, Mama is back. I've been saying I was back. Again, news coming, a teaser. Continue to show up each and every week, and you will eventually find out what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start by sharing and expressing our gratitude. Thank you, Universe, Source, Energy, for this lovely vibrational experience that we are having with each other. Please bring us messages of wealth, health, abundance, gratitude, and all that jazz. Please send the messages in a clear and concise way so that we can deliver this for our highest vibrational good only and your highest vibrational good only. Please energy connect us, bring us forth, and let us know about what's coming up in this week so that we can pay attention to it. Okay, let's say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Spicy. We have the Queen of Cups. Mama is serving face, legs, body, feet, teeth, no teeth, but lips, a strong lippy. So this is a moment of mastering the emotions, the internal. I've talked about this before, and what I'm basically saying here is people do not realize, or they don't have to think about, how often we make decisions based off of how we feel. We could even have an interaction with someone else that could go negatively. And in our mind, we have convinced ourselves this person thinks this way of me. They might think some other way. It could still be a negative way, but they think some other way about you. But you convince yourself this person thinks this way, so you don't show up to this other place because you think they're going to be there. And that somehow impacts you. Other things, you have been working towards something and you're just not up to par for yourself. Maybe no one else is saying anything, but you're fine. And it's not because like people are just quiet and like they really suck. It's just like, you're meeting the expectations and you're just like, and so you quit doing something that you really love. Or when people are very creative, they feel like they're at this position where they might be producing something but they're not enjoying it. They're chasing that high of creativity. When you first do something, you start a project that you really like and it's so exciting. That's the same thing that happens when people first meet someone and it's very romantic. Relationships are romance, the intimacy, but that's just one portion. I'm not gonna lie, I would say about a long-term relationship, I would go ahead and say it's about 20% romance. I would say the beginning when you're dating someone, let's say it's like 50 to 80% is romance. Why? Because you don't have to deal with nothing else, okay? You're just there to have a good time. But also saying like too much sugar can impact you, because the moment that someone has that project and they don't have that 50 to 80% of, ooh, it feels good all the time, then they think something's wrong, when in fact, maybe it's just you're great at this and you have this sensation that something new is on the horizon. But instead of being like, okay, let me finish this and let me be open to whatever this new thing is, there's just this feeling of something must be going wrong here. No, it is okay to have feelings. It is okay to have happy feelings, sad feelings, tired feelings, anxious feelings. Feelings happen. Now, when people need extra support because they are going through a bout of depression, anxiety, a lot of insecurities, that's completely fine and completely healthy and completely normal considering what you have gone through. So, you get your help, you have your community, all of this and that. Okay, that's fine. So we also need to separate the soul, the energy that is you, that is creating this life you want, versus the physical body. You are not about to tell me that if you eat fast food all day, but you in general have a happiness toward life, and you start feeling bad and sad and like, oh, my body feels fucked up, and you're like, I don't know what it is, I'm okay with life, But I feel bad. You just have to work on the fact that your soul is fine, but you also have to be responsible for your body. The body will have a reaction. If you are feeding it things that really isn't, for its higher vibrational good, it'll have a reaction that probably has nothing to do with the soul. The same about your environment. You can feel very good and very confident about yourself, but if you're surrounded by people who are very insecure, that's going to be the thick energy. So you are probably not insecure, but that energy is modeling a certain behavior. In fact, people will definitely gaslight you if you do not act insecure in that, or whatever, that dynamic is. So this is a moment where you just need to stand and be an individual. You're going to be in situations and circumstances where people are just going to be doing things in a different way, but hold on to who you are, this balance and this peace, because it is going to bring you forth in a new direction. That was a lot to say, right? Five of Swords. You got to be able to let go of the past and move forward with what you have. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to internalize everything that happens. Oh, I did this thing 10 years ago. Do people do that? You just sit one time and you think about, oh my gosh, 10 years ago, I can't believe I did that. Who cares? It already happened. I bet you the people around can't even remember because they're too busy thinking about what they did 10 years ago that was fucked up or something like that, okay? You just have to be able to let things go, Sometimes you make a mistake and it's a happy mistake. Like, okay, you didn't take this opportunity with someone, but then you ended up finding a much better community because of it. I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, I've seen people literally leave a relationship, do so much better in their life, and then feel bad that like, oh, I should have gave it a chance. You would want to give a relationship a chance that once you freed yourself, you did better in life? No, you should be able to open yourself up to a more deserving relationship, not one where you feel like you need to be in this relationship that says basically you got to do shitty in life to be with this person. Oh, it's a process, as we know. Queen of Pentacles, mastering the emotions surrounding money. Sometimes this can come off as a fear of not having enough. It can come off as a fear of there's some like insecurity or some sense of lacking safety somewhere. So you want to gravitate towards it being a financial aspect when really it started somewhere else. Money is important. Money helps us to be able to not be in poverty, to be able to have access to things. The origins, though, of a desire when you have access to things is something that is a deeper exploration. Let me explain that a little bit more because I was confusing myself. Maybe you got it. What I was basically saying is that if you are not in your worst luck right now, you're just doing fine, but you want to have more money in your life, the origin actually isn't money. There's something else deeper. It doesn't mean you can't have more money. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's something deeper that you have to explore and you have to hold yourself accountable for. This is strength. Now, this is a wonderful opportunity to connect deep inside yourself and find that strength. It is not easy to be an individual. It is not easy to be unique. It is not easy to be the lone person in a crowd. You got a whole group of people who are saying or acting or doing something else, gaslighting an experience. It's not easy. But oh wow, I'm going to give you a real life example. I was the person in my life for a very, very long time that would talk about all of these metaphysical, mystical, spiritual things, stuff like that. I started to accumulate so much knowledge, and every time I would try to find a community, it didn't necessarily fit, but I got what I needed from the moment. But I just, naturally, it's just something I've always been very interested in. Later on, I create Reiki Healing Hope, and in that community, we have dialogue all the time. It's like, oh, this is yummy and exciting. I get to feed my appetite for the mystical and things like that. But in my everyday life, people would tell me all the time, and when I say I didn't give a motherfuck, I really didn't. People would tell me all the time, you're a weirdo, this is strange, da 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 da. I was like, how you gonna tell me it's strange if it has a lineage, if it has history, if it's had thousands if not millions of people have it a part of their life? Like it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. I'm like, I like these things. I like learning even more. I'm a real big person into the mystical and the mystery, but I also like dispelling myths too. Like, it's I'm not one of those people that just wants to fall down a rabbit hole of like everything is bigger than comprehension. No, sometimes things are just simple. It's just simple. I've been recently talking about magic so much, and people want to think it's like this hidden ability outside. No, it's inside. It's right here. We're actually so powerful that we can create a reality based off of this, but we very much so lack the ability of controlling what's going on here because it hasn't been modeled. That's okay, but you can do that now. So I'm saying here, you got to find your inner strength. I'm getting off my high horse. X of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. Work hard. Whatever it is you want, work hard. You're very individual. This is giving me a lovely Prince-esque kind of pantsuit. But what do we know about Prince? Prince struggled in a lot of areas, but you will not tell me that he wasn't the baddest hello out there, walking around with heels, walking around with a full suit, walking around with a press and curl, all of this stuff, and just bad, okay? But people had their own expectations of who they thought he was just by him not acting like a traditional man. You got to think about the fact that, first of all, he was very short. And just to take a moment, society isn't really nice to short men. Like, they act like a man being short is like one of the worst things ever. But to me, it's just like, it's height, that's all it is. There are people who love short men. Not me, because I'm gay, but I will say, I'll give an example. My mom. So I'm 5'10". I'm not 5'10". I'm 5'5". My mom is 5'10", right? So to this day, I'm still looking up. But she only dated men who were short. She said she liked it. She liked short, muscular men. I don't know why. Like, she just liked it. So in this, just being an individual and being confident, you don't know whose cup of tea you could be. Also, just who you are. You don't know when you're going to come into your community. It took me 20 years. Let's do around 15. It took me 15 years of just exploring, doing my own thing and being interested before I got into finally a community, because I had to create it where we could have these conversations about magic, mysticism, history, the history of systemic things too, how all of these things group together about, like being able to create whatever we want in this life. 15 years. I wasn't sitting suffering like, when will I find this place? No, I was just exploring, just explore. Do. So work hard at being you. Just be yourself. When you be yourself, you'll be happy and you'll be accepting of who you are now. Page of Pentacles. This is a new way of you starting with money. So this is giving me a very strong vibe of insecurity. So I want you to take a moment and think about, what is it that you have recently been insecure about, or that you have been feeling like you lack, or that it is not happening in your life? Because you have to go and you have to reestablish something new. And this is something that you have been trying over and over and over again. But the thing is, you keep on trying to make something that you've tried before work, and it's not going to, and that's okay. Like, do not feel bad about it. Do not feel sad about it. Just move on, just go and look a little bit deeper and just release and let it go and let it be. I promise you're going to find the answer you're looking for. So let's get specifically into the week, because that was really that energy that was coming up for your spirit right now. But what's coming up in the week? The week. Okay. Thank you, universe. Okay, y'all came out, so I'm gonna let y'all shine. The Architect. You have to craft the life that you want for yourself. You have to build the life you want exactly how it is. It doesn't matter if people agree with you. It doesn't matter if people think you're weird. If it makes you feel good, do it. That's simple. The Shadow. Understand what is the unconscious motivation of the things that you want to do in life. Just understand that. Okay, because that's truly where your power is. There are so many people who are successful people, and by successful I mean like people who have some access to power or something like that, who have allowed their unconscious things to dictate choices in their life, and then they get older, they have all this power, they still feel like unhinged inside. If you know this, that's the secret to your power. These two came up at the same time. Elephant and eagle. Okay, what do we know about the eagle? The eagle is wise, not eagle. What do we know about the elephant? The elephant is wise. What do we know about the eagle? The eagle sees everything. The eagle's also a scavenger. So the eagle will take the opportunity, whatever it is. So whatever life you've had, no matter if there's been ups and downs, that's the perfect opportunity to build whatever it is you want. So here it is, understanding the full picture, the macro view, and the wisdom, and then also having that ability to just use the resources you have around you. That's going to be coming up for you this week. So do not be intimidated by it. Just jump into it and be like, cool. Next one, we have the sea turtle and we have the crone. So the turtle itself is this magical, this unageable energy. Patience, persistence, resilience, observation, fading into like the background a little bit. So a lot of what you do, and as you are ascending, especially when you're planning whatever this is that you want to do, in this upcoming week, you're using this time to plan, you are going to do it in a way where you have to release yourself from feeling like you need to get external validation every milestone you make. Okay, you don't need that. As long as it makes you feel good on the inside, go with that. That's good enough. Even if someone else tells you something else, don't worry about that. Just go with what makes you feel good on the inside. That's good enough. And the crone, we know from our witchy friends that the moon is a representation, as we know. The moon is, or Cancer is ruled by the moon, and that is the mother sign, the emotional sign, the energy sign, but it's the closest celestial body that impacts us on a routine basis. And what we learn from our witchy friends is that when they have a connection to the moon, it's usually the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And this is the three life phases of a woman, and the things that you gain from each one of those phases. So in the crone, that's when you are at your wisest state. You're no longer naive, okay? So you don't have a lot of energy and you don't need to prove yourself. And you're no longer busy having to deal and take care of everybody else when you're the mother. You're the crone, so you have nothing but wisdom. So go to yourself and look for the deepest part of you that knows something to be certain. It doesn't have to have any validation. That's where you want to lead from here. And what else is coming up for you this week? We have the Seer. So being able to know and trust yourself, whatever comes up. We have the Gate, seeing this opportunity as it arrives. And we have this beautiful energy right here. Okay? Do you see this? Do you see the energy just looking and going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Being able to look towards the gate that you want, that you need, that is within your grasp. It's right there. It's actually right in front of you. And you have to be able to surrender to the fact that you know these things. I'm going to pull 2 glass cards just for your week. We have the Hierophant. Okay, you are the authority of knowledge. And we have the Loon Moth. That means you're going to be having a transformation, one that people actually didn't know you were going to have. That's what you're setting yourself up for this week. Well, everybody, just take the time to really just be patient with yourself. You don't have to force anything, and just follow what feels good. There's nothing wrong with what feels good. And by feeling good, I don't mean something that gives you this fake high of I need something that makes me feel better because I feel not so good, but something that feels peaceful, just feels at peace within your spirit, who you are. Follow that, and that is where your destiny will go. Well, I will see you soon. Again, y'all know I got some tea for you at the end of the month. So stay tuned, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Well, I'll see you next time. Check out any of the other videos going on. You can hit up the comment section, share your experience. You never know how sharing your experience could change someone else's life or just help you. And if you want to see me every night, go ahead and check me out at Reiki Healing Hope too. Okay, see you soon.